Yeah. Pull up a chair, supper's getting cold. Some things are better learned at home. There was an old wooden table in the middle of our kitchen room, 4 chairs around the edges, and a window facing the moon. Daddy came home covered in dust. Mama set the plates down slow. We'd talk about the day behind us while the evening fire glowed. There weren't any fancy lessons written on a classroom wall, just stories passed around the table and words I'd remember after all. I didn't know I was learning while I was waiting for dessert. I learned about life at the kitchen table with a plate in front of me. Daddy taught me to keep my word. Mama taught me how to believe. We learned to say I'm sorry. We learned to give before we take. The biggest lessons of my childhood were taught around that table. Yeah, the world taught me plenty later, but home taught me what mattered most. Daddy said, son, work hard, but don't let work become your life. There's more to being a good man than bringing money home at night. Mama said, listen carefully when somebody needs to talk. You don't have to fix their troubles. Sometimes you just need to walk beside them. Grandpa would tell his old stories about the years when times were tough. He'd say you may not have a lot, but what you've got can still be enough. When somebody at the table had a little more than they could spare, Mama always made another plate and made sure everybody had a chair. Those words were simple back then, but they've stayed with me for years. I learned about life at the kitchen table with a plate in front of me. Daddy taught me to keep my word. Mama taught me how to believe. We learned to say I'm sorry. We learned to give before we take. The biggest lessons of my childhood were taught around that table. Yeah, the world taught me plenty later, but home taught me what mattered most. Now the chairs are getting older and the wood has faded brown. Some of the voices that once filled it have gone quiet now. But every time I sit down at a table with the people that I love, I can almost hear those old familiar voices like they're still sitting here with us. Life ain't measured by the silver or the size of what you own. It's the hands that pass the bread around and the hearts that make it home. Warm acoustic guitar, twangy Telecaster, guitar suit, worn pedal steel retired, tool paper foot, steady country drums. Now I've got a table of my own and little voices down the hall. Sometimes they talk with their mouths full, and sometimes they spill it all. I smile when I hear myself saying the same things Daddy used to say, and I hear Mama in the kitchen making sure nobody walks away hungry. So I pull another chair beside us and make a little room, because that's how I was taught to live, and that's what I'll pass on to. I learned about life at the kitchen table with a plate in front of me. Daddy taught me to keep my word, Mama taught me how to believe. We learned to say I'm sorry, we learned to give before we take. The biggest lessons of my childhood were taught around that table. Now I'm teaching my own children everything they need to know, not from books or fancy speeches, but from the love we let them know. Yeah, the world can teach you plenty, but home will always teach you best. And the lessons from that kitchen table are the ones that never left. Yeah. Pull up a chair, pass the bread, stay a little longer. Some lessons aren't written down, they're shared over supper and carried for a lifetime.
Yeah, it started with an empty piece of land, a hammer, some nails, and a dream I could call my own.
There was nothing but a field out there and an old oak standing tall, just a stretch of dirt beneath the sky and a dream that felt too small. I marked the ground before the sunrise with a piece of faded strings. Had no crew and no big money, just a hope for better things. I carried every piece of lumber through the heat and summer rain, put the first board down with trembling hands and built it up again. Every nail became a memory, every wall became a part of me. I built this house with these two hands, one board, one nail at a time. Through the sweat and through the hard days, through every mountain I had to climb. It ain't the biggest house in town, but every corner tells my story. I built this house with these two hands, and that's why it means so much to me. Yeah, I built this house with these two hands, and I built it all again. I learned to measure twice before cutting, learned to fix what I got wrong. There were days I wanted to quit when the work felt twice as long. I built the porch beneath the oak tree where the evening sun comes down, put a window facing eastward so I'd see the morning sky. Then I painted that old front door with a color worn and warm, and left a little mark inside the frame to remember where it all began. Every scratch and every crooked line has a story buried underneath. I built this house with these two hands, one board, one nail at a time. Through the sweat and through the hard days, through every net and two hands, and that's why it means so much to me. Yeah, I built this house with these two hands, and I'd build it all again. There were nights I worked by flashlight when the moon was hanging low. There were mornings I could barely move, but I kept saying one more row. Then one day I stepped back from it and saw the walls beneath the sky. I realized I wasn't just building shelter, I was building a life inside. Years from now these walls may wither and the paint may lose its shine, but every board will hold the memory of the hands that made it mine.
Warm acoustic guitar, twangy Telecaster, guitar and solo. I'm also fiddle, steel guitar. I added a country fiddle, steady country drums.
Now there's laughter in the kitchen and a pair of boots beside the door. Pictures hanging on the hallway of the people I built it for. The porch light glows at sunset and the chimney warms the night. I sit beneath that old oak tree and watch the stars come alive. Sometimes I run my hand along the walls and think about those days when all I had was an empty field and a dream I wouldn't trade. I built this house with these two hands, one board, one nail at a time. Through the sweat and through the hard days, through every mountain I had to climb. It ain't the biggest house in town, but every corner holds a story. I built this house with these two hands, and every wall still carries me. I built this house with these two hands for the people that I love, and when the years have taken everything else, this home will still be enough. Yeah, I built this house with these two hands, and I'd build it all again. Yeah, just an empty field, a hammer, some lumber, and a cologne. Now there's a porch beneath the sunset and a place I can call home. I build it with these two hands.
Yeah. Somewhere down an old Kashi road, there's still a light waiting for me. Every morning before sunrise, she'd open up the door, sweep the dust across the front porch like she'd done 1,000 times before. She'd put the coffee on the table and listen for my truck. Even when I was running late, she'd say he's probably just stuck. There was a rocking chair beside her and a flower pot by the stairs. She'd sit beneath the porch light with the evening in her hair. I never understood it then, how love could wait so patiently. Mama's always waiting on the front porch, watching down that country road with a porch light burning through the darkness like a little piece of home. No matter how far I've wandered, no matter where the highway goes, Mama's always waiting on the front porch, and somehow she always knows. Yeah, Mama's always waiting on the front porch. That's a place I'll always call home. I left when I was 17 with a suitcase and a dream. Thought the whole wide world was waiting somewhere beyond the county line. She hugged me by that old screen door and said, go find what you're looking for. Then she stood there in the morning light long after I was gone. Years went by like passing headlights, and I learned the world ain't kind. I had some dreams that came true, and some I left behind. But every time I called her, she'd ask me when I'd come home, like there was still a place for me waiting underneath that old roof. I didn't know how much I needed her till the road got hard and long. Mama's always waiting on the front porch, watching down that country road with a porch light burning through the darkness like a little piece of home. No matter how far I've wandered, no matter where the highway goes, Mama's always waiting on the front porch, and somehow she always knows. Yeah, Mama's always waiting on the front porch. That's a place I'll always call home. One autumn night I came back late. The headlights crossed the yard. She was sitting in that rocking chair, and I knew she'd never stop. She didn't ask about the miles I'd traveled or the things that went wrong. She just opened up her arms like I'd never been gone. I sat beside her in the quiet while the crickets filled the air, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel the weight I carried there. She said, you don't have to stay forever, just remember where you belong. And those simple words from Mama stayed with me all along. Wow, what kind of stick to her? Emotion and pedal steel guitar, twangy Telecaster guitar solo, soft curved fiddle, steady country drums. Now the years have changed the house some, and the porch boards have turned gray, but that old rocking chair still sits there, facing down the road the same. Mama's hair is silver now, and her hands have gotten slow, But whenever I pull into the driveway, her smile is the first thing that I know. Sometimes I wonder how she waited through every storm and every year. But I finally understand it now. Love doesn't disappear. It stays beside the front door. It keeps a light on through the night and waits for you to find your way back when the world is taking you too far. Mama's always waiting on the front porch, watching down that country road with a porch light burning through the darkness like a little piece of home. No matter how far I've wandered, no matter where the highway goes, Mama's always waiting on the front porch, and somehow she always knows. Mama's always waiting on the front porch with a heart that never closed. And if I ever lose my way again, I know exactly where I'll go. Yeah, Mama's always waiting on the front porch where the road finally feels like home. Yeah. There's still a light above that doorway, still a chair beside the stairs. Somewhere at the end of that old road, Mama's waiting there. I'll always find my way back home.
Old truck ain't worth much money, but to me, it's worth a lifetime. There was an old truck in our driveway. Paint was faded, tires were worn. Daddy bought it back in '84, long before the day that I was born. It had a crack across the windshield and a dent along the passenger side. But every morning before the sunrise, I'd see Daddy start that engine with pride. He'd throw his coffee in the cup holder, wipe the dust off the dashboard clean. Then he'd tell me, grab your jacket, son, and we'd head out toward the fields. I didn't know those early mornings were the best days of my life. It was Dad and his old truck rolling down that country road, two worn out seats, a radio playing, and a lifetime of stories to unfold. He taught me how to fix a tire, how to work and keep my word. But the greatest thing he ever taught me was the meaning of being a good man. Yeah, it was Dad and his old truck, and memories I'll never outgrow. We hauled hay before the daylight, fixed the fence along the creek. Daddy never said too much, but somehow he knew what I would need. He'd point toward the distant mountains and tell me, son, keep looking wide. There's more to life than what you see here, but don't forget where you come from inside. Sometimes we'd stop beside the river with the engine ticking as it cooled. He'd hand me half his sandwich and we'd watch the water roll. I thought those days would last forever, like that truck would never rust.
Didn't know I was riding beside the man who taught me who to trust. Some lessons don't come from talking, they come from watching what he does. It was Dad in his old truck, rolling down that country road. Two worn out seats, a radio playing, and a lifetime of stories to unfold. He taught me how to fix a tire, how to work and keep my word. But the greatest thing he ever taught me was the meaning of being a good man. Yeah, it was Dad in his old truck, and memories I'll never output grow. Years went by and life got busy. I moved away and built my own. But every time I hear an engine, I still remember driving home. That old truck sits in the barn now, covered up and out of sight. The paint is peeling from the fenders, but I swear I hear it start some nights. Daddy's hair has turned to silver, and his hands aren't strong as before. But when he tells me those old stories, I'm that little kid beside the door. Yeah, with the acoustic guitar, twangy Telecaster, guitar solo, emotional pedal stereo guitar, riding that country fiddle, steady country drums. Last Sunday I took that old truck out for the first time in years. Daddy climbed into the passenger seat and smiled like he was back there. I turned the key and heard it rumble. That familiar sound came back. He laughed and said, "Still runs pretty good," as we headed down the old dirt track. We didn't need to say much. The road already knew our names. Every mile brought back a memory of those early mornings in the rain. I looked over at my father and suddenly I understood. That old truck was never just a truck. It was a place where he raised me good. It was Dad in his old truck, rolling down that country road. Two worn out seats, a radio playing, and a lifetime of stories to unfold. He taught me how to fix a tire, how to work and keep my word. But the greatest thing he ever taught me was the meaning of being a good man. Yeah, it was Dad in his old truck, and the memories that made me who I am. It was Dad in his old truck, and love never needed many words. Yeah. That old truck may someday stop running, but the road we shared won't disappear. I'll carry those mornings with me, every mile, every year. Dad in his old truck, that's a story I'll always keep. There's an old frame in the hallway, covered in a little dust, but every face inside it still remembers us. There's a picture on the old wall in a house that's getting gray. Mama standing by the window, Daddy smiling like a Sunday. I'm a little boy beside them, with my brother by my side. Everybody dressed their finest on that long forgotten night. The frame has lost its golden color and the glass has picked up lines, but those faces in the photograph still look the same to me sometimes. Funny how a picture stays when everything else changes. There's a family picture on the old wall holding years we can't bring back. Mama smiled at his weathered hands and a little boy in a cowboy hat. Some are gone and some have wandered down different roads and different lives, but that family picture on the old wall keeps us all together every night. Yeah, that family picture on the old wall's a piece of home that time can't take. I remember Sunday mornings and the sound of Mama's voice, calling everybody to the table like she gave us no choice. Daddy coming from the workshop with his hands still covered in dust. We complain about the vegetables, then laugh because we had to. There were birthdays in that kitchen, Christmas lights around the door, summer evenings on the front porch, and muddy boots across the floor. We didn't know those little moments would become the things we'd miss. We thought there'd always be tomorrow. We didn't know the time was this. Now the house feels a little quieter, but that old picture still remains. There's a family picture on the old wall holding years we can't bring back. Mama smiled at his weathered hands and a little boy in a cowboy hat. Some are gone and some have wandered down different roads and different lives, but that family picture on the old wall picks us all together every night. Yeah, that family picture on the old wall's a piece of home that time can't take. My brother lives 3 states away now, and Mama's hair has turned to white. Daddy's old chair sits by the window where he used to read at night. Sometimes I stand there in the hallway with my fingers on the frame, and I hear all those familiar voices like they're calling out my name. A photograph can't stop the seasons, can't bring yesterday back home, but it can remind a wandering heart that it never walks alone. On the acoustic guitar, twangy Telecaster, guitar solo, emotional pedal steel guitar, tin tops they sell, steady country drums. Last Christmas I brought my children to that old familiar house. They stood beneath the picture, and I showed them every face. I told them about their grandpa and the stories from those years. I told them how their grandma could make us laugh through tears. Then my youngest asked me softly, "Are those all the people we are?" I smiled and said, "That's family, even when they're somewhere far." So I wiped the dust away and straightened up the frame, 'cause some things deserve a place where generations know their names. There's a family picture on the old wall holding years we can't bring back. Mama's smile, Daddy's weathered hands, and a little boy in a cowboy hat. Some are gone and some have wandered down different roads and different lives, but that family picture on the old wall picks us all together every night. There's a family picture on the old wall, and every face still feels like home. Through every year and every mile, it reminds me I'm never alone. Yeah, that family picture on the old wall will keep our story living on. Yeah, the frame may fade, the house may change, the years may carry us away, but those faces on the old wall will always be home to me.